Hi, welcome to today's show. In today's show, we're going to do a follow-up video from my last video about the Excalibur Crossbow Hybrid X. So we'll do a follow-up with that right after this. Hi, and welcome to today's show. Hey, like I said in the intro, howdy ma'am, howdy partner, I almost forgot that. Alright, so we're doing a follow-up on the new release of the Excalibur Hybrid X Crossbow. And what I've done a little bit of research. I've looked at other videos that have talked about the crossbow. And I'm still not convinced that it's a tried, true, and tested crossbow. It's still like it has a couple of fail points. However, let's just talk about different things with the crossbow. So we're going to start with the Rhino V-Nock. Now this is a different Rhino nock, and I'll show you here in just a moment. But you can see right here, it has a little V shape that connects to the string. And on each side, there's an indentation for it to hold on to in the box. Okay, so let's hop on over to the other monitor. This is the V-Flight Pro 18-inch arrow. Now, here's where I've been finding a little bit of discrepancy. It's a heavier front insert, 250 grain weight. Now, I've heard these are 0.001 straightness and 0.003 straightness. So, a little bit of controversy there, I think, because I'm not 100% sure. With 2-inch blazer vanes. Wait a minute. With the flat back nocks. Interesting. Let's see. They're not saying anything about the Rhino nock on here. And it's not sold in any stores yet. So I can't quite blow those up, but it's not giving any more information. But let's go over to arrows. And if you notice here, there is no V-Flight arrow listed on their website. Now these are the Rhino flat nocks. So you can see they're a little bit different. So you got to make sure you get that out of here, the right nock. But they don't sell these individually. They're only available with the full arrow right now. And they don't have any lighted nocks. When I hear they're working on new nocks, or the lighted nocks for these. Oh, let's go back to, oh, come on. Why isn't that? All right. So from hearing is you could use these pro flight arrows, but if you look at them, get that out of here, they don't have the V-nock on these. So quite interesting, because according to Wavern Creations, you can use the pro flight arrows, but let's see. Let's click here. Oh, that's just too much information there. So let's look at the other ones here real quick. No. Okay. So, yeah. They're shipped, from what I understand, with the 4 V-flight arrows. But there's no more arrows available for the crossbow. So hopefully that comes down pretty soon or pretty quick, because you'll run out of arrows fast. So that could be a little bit of a problem there. All right. Now, we're going to take a look here at the overhang. If you notice here, there is no protection unless this flips up, which I haven't seen anything about it. If you put on, say, a broadhead on here, that broadhead is going to be way out there with no protection whatsoever. That could be a little bit of a problem if you're walking through the brush with your crossbow loaded and ready to go. So, not a good setup, in my opinion, on that. Okay, here's a look at the cage that goes around the cams. I mean, it looks pretty sturdy. On it. But again, it's not a tried, true, and tested system. Here's a better shot at the cage and cams. And if you notice, the limbs are not touching the cams, which it looks like they're just maybe a 1/4 inch away or so. I'm just guessing at that. But yeah, they're still pretty close. I guess that's a good way of telling if your timing is off. If your limb is touching your cams or has shifted. Because I understand that you can tune those limbs a little bit for tuning. Now, this is their ceasefire system. Here's the problem, in my opinion. When you cock the crossbow, it does not set the anti-dry fire. It does not. You have to actually put it on safety before it catches. So when you cock it, you got to reach up there and manually set the safety. Issue? Yeah, I would say that is an issue. Because you got this, it says anti-dry fire. So, is it with the arrow in there or not having the arrow in there? Don't know how that works on that. If you guys do, let me know down in the comments. So, you have to literally reach down after you cock it and set the safety. Does that set the anti-dry fire? Or is the anti-dry fire set when it hooks onto the string and you pull it back? Don't know. So, and let's go back to the limbs here. The limbs are reverse crossbow. I'm not reverse. Recurve limbs. Now, are they specially made recurve limbs? Or they just use some recurve limbs off the shelf? Don't know. And here's another thing too. You see these double strings here. Are they going down to one string on the cams? Or what? Really hard to tell on here. With these strings. So, again, is it feasible? For what I understand, the frame itself is the Rev X frame that they're using. It may be a little bit different. They may have done they've had to obviously do some modifications to the frame to get everything set on there. So, and I also, let's see, do I have a picture? I don't know. That's not the one I want. Okay, and if we go back here, it's got a nice frame for the limbs to hold on to. But from what I understand, right in here, there's a little bit of flex in the limbs down here. Just a little bit. But it's to help with the cams and the end of the the end of your limbs here. So I don't know if I'd like that or not, that little bit of flex in there. I think I'd rather have it pretty solid. This is just my opinion. But using recurve limbs to get the exact width, I think the width was 10.5 inches or something like that. But it's like it's just a little bit of flex. Now the speed was 421 feet per second with a 100 grain tip. Now I watched the video, and for the life of me I can't find that video. I do apologize. That they shot the 150 grain tip and got 402 feet per second with the 150 grain tip. So, and they're also saying they come with two, oops, I just hit my microphone. Two tips, a 100 grain tip and a 150 grain field tip. They're saying that the 150 grain field tip is more accurate than the 100 grain field tip. It should be, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it should be both. The 100 grain tip should fire just the same as the 150 grain. So are they saying that the 150 grain tip is the better tip than the 100 grain tip? Are you going to get your accuracy that you want with the 100 grain tip? So I'm hoping more and more videos come out about the crossbow. I have my reservations about this crossbow. I really do. It's not tried, true, and tested. I mean, look at the price. The MSRS, whatever, the manufacturer's retail price is $2,200. Okay? So that's putting it up there with the Ravens, with the 10 points crossbows. So are they at that point yet? In my opinion, they're not. They're still down. They're up there, but they're not up there like the Ravens and the 10-point crossbows for that price. So, and then again the housing for the trigger housing and stuff is kind of on the same lines as 10-point. Kind of on the same lines as Raven, but not quite there. They're not using the screw. But like I said, when you run the housing down and latch onto the string and you pull it back, you got to set the safety. That's a must. So again, does that set the anti-dry fire? Is anti-dry fire when you hook onto the string? Does it set it when you pull it back? Still some questions to be answered. So, this is just my opinion. Okay, we got issues with the arrow. There's no arrows out there for replacement right now that I can see or have I found. Everything has to go through Excalibur. And they don't show that, what do they call it again? The V-Flight Pro 18 arrows. There's nothing on the site about the arrows. So, are you just buying a dead-end crossbow right now without the arrows? Can you go through Excalibur and do a specialty order for the V-Flight arrows or the Pro Flight arrows with the Rhino V-Nock? Don't know. So, some unanswered questions there on that. Oh, yeah. Fail points. Where do I see fail points? Right now, I see possible fail points here around the cams. Maybe fail points on the limbs, even though the limbs don't look, they look pretty strong. It just slipped my mind. The draw length. From what I hear, it's only about just a hair over 11 inches So that might not put a lot of stress on these limbs, but the draw. No, not the draw. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. Where most crossbows, reverse crossbows, have 13, 14, 15-inch draw here to get their speed. This is only a little over 11 inches. So, could that be a problem? Especially with the heavier arrows. So, I mean, overall, the crossbow itself, oh, what just happened here? Oh, well. The crossbow itself overall looks nice. I'm going to say that. So, the price, pricey. Too much money. The cam system, brand new. Never tried, tuned, and tested. Could that be an issue? Could the limbs be an issue? I quickly seen a video on the restringing issue. When you want to restring, if I can find it again, I'll put it in the link below. I really haven't reviewed it like I should, because I really haven't had the time to do it. So maybe I'll do a review on that later on. But that's the least of it. But it does look very complicated. So, I guess if I can find the link, I'll put it down in the description box below, so you can take a look at it yourself. Alrighty, so that's basically what I have. To me, it looks maybe a little bit front heavy, but I don't know. I don't have one personally. I'm just going by what I see on the internet. So I hope you guys got a little bit out of it. Again, just my opinion on the hybrid hybrid X from Excalibur. But again, that tip, that sticks way out there. Way out there. There's no protection for it. Alrighty. So again, I hope you guys got a little bit out of it. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of videos, and they really haven't broken down the crossbow. They really haven't got out and shot the crossbow, even though there's been some shots taken. So, hopefully, other people who might get the crossbow will take it out and do a complete review of it. Other creators. Alrighty. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And remember, these videos are dedicated to my son and in loving memory of my oldest son. And to see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter.